unofficial Universal Orlando podcast
is a member of the Mice Chat Podcast Network. MicePod.com. Now live the movies and hear the fun.
Greetings, Universal Orlando fans. It's time for the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast with your hosts, Lee, Tracey, and Darren.
It's 106 miles to Orlando. We got a full tank of gas, half a bottle of sunscreen. It's raining, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it. Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 38 of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. It's me, Darren, and along with me is the crime-fighting duo that makes all the chavs shake in their boots, Tracey and Lee.
Hiya, Darren.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh, for everyone who doesn't know anything, we're going unscripted this one, and me and Tracey didn't have a clue what Darren was going to come with, and that was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, so kind of in keeping with what Darren just said, buckle up.
We need to get more references to rides in the parks and stuff, don't we?
Yeah.
That was cool.
Oh.
So, how are you guys doing today?
All right.
Pretty good, thanks. Yourself?
Good.
Fighting off the hurricane that's on its way.
Yeah, it is. Luckily, it looks like we're just going to get some tropical force winds, though, so we should be okay.
Cool, very cool. I hope everyone out there... It's not really cool, is it?
No,
What did I
it's
say
not.
that for? I hope everyone stays safe while it's coming through anyway. But actually, by the time this comes out, it'll be gone.
Yes.
I hope everyone is safe then.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll still be here.
Yeah, we're blown away.
To reference Disney, there's no place like home. Twister! Oh, Darren, you'll be in your element.
Yeah. Definitely. How long till you guys get down here?
Ooh, when we worked it out, it's 341 days.
Let me work it out.
Shut up.
Ages away yet.
Yes.
But planning has begun.
I'll be packing shortly.
Forever.
Yeah, hopefully we're getting all the hurricanes out of the way this year so you guys can have a good one next year.
Actually, as we're recording this, we'll be there this time next year, so hopefully.
We'll be almost ready to come home. I don't want to think about that.
Yeah, we'll have about 4 days left, I think.
That's just not good.
All right, well, coming up on this show here, we've got the news coming up first, of course, as usual. We've got a review of Minion Mayhem from listener Kyle Thibodeau. We have Tracey's interview with a friend of the show, Leonard Kinsey, about his new book and a chance to win a digital copy of that. We have a live report from the parks by Josh Mercer. And then we've got some listener emails and an outro.
Cool.
All right, let's go ahead and get on with the show.
Excellent.
And now your news from around the Universal Orlando Resort with your UUOP news team.
Right, so we'll get on with the news, shall we? I shall start. As soon as I'm talking. Right. Now, I've got more on the rumoured expansion of the Wizarding World, guys.
Cool.
Okie dokie. So, we've been speculating here and on the website. The old Amity area is possibly going to become Diagon Alley. And the two parks are going to be connected by the Hogwarts Express. Yep.
Yeah, go on. I'm going to say it. You told me not to. A friend of ours who's currently over there asked the team. I wasn't going to mention it, but it just seems a perfect place to put it in now. But one of our friends asked a team member over by the Jaws area of how the Harry Potter expansion was going on. Oh, no, I can't say it yet, can I?
Why?
Because it's your little news story.
Oh, yeah, you should save it till after she says the news.
So
go on, Tracey, go away, and then I'll add it in at the end.
Yeah.
Because I can't say it.
Yeah, good. So shut up.
Because I can add a bit.
Hijacker.
I'll add a bit in at the end. What he actually asked is, how's the expansion going? And the guy said, oh, it's going really well.
Yeah.
I'll add the rest of it in after you do your bit.
Good. Anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted. So yes, Amity's possibly going to become Diagon Alley, the two parts connected by the Hogwarts Express. Well, there was a picture published in the latest Universal team member newsletter. And looking quite closely at the plans, and I can assure you, it has a nicely highlighted route running between Old Amity and the studios, goes behind Disaster and Revenge of the Mummy, and it stops near the 8th Voyage of Sinbad in Islands of Adventure.
Now, that's never been talked about, that route, before, has it?
Yes. There is also a rumour that Sinbad is going to be the next attraction to be axed in Islands of Adventure, so is that going to be making way for the station?
Well, if you look at the photos that Eric sent us recently, I put a few up on the website. There is some groundwork being done by Dueling Dragons, around the side of Sinbad anyway.
Yeah, so it's as of August the 20th, which was 11 days ago.
Last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, the backstage traffic routes have changed. The Universal team are conducting, try and say that properly, it's a really hard word to say, infrastructure.
Yeah, that's what they've said.
Upgrades and utility maintenance along Perimeter Road, which, it's probably just what they're saying. It's...
You mean the team member that...
Well, shut up. Yes. Lee won't be with us next time. He'll be in hospital recovering. Now, if you haven't already, head over to the website and check out the recent photo updates on the site. You'll see the land that's being cleared near the Dragon Challenge and the Sinbad Show building. Let us know what we think. Are we getting the Hogwarts Express? Of course, this is all going to be moot in a minute. Of course, if the rumours are correct, then there's going to be more speculation to come about ticketing options. Effectively, visitors are going to have dual access to the parks, aren't they? From one turnstile.
We've argued this over the show.
There's going to be two entrances, but you decide on which side you want to start, basically.
RFID has been mentioned. I think Seth mentioned to us about using RFID.
Yeah. But how much of a problem is this going to cause for the guests going in? Are we going to see a single price, which could be financially unviable for some families, which has always been the one thing I've said straight away.
Yeah.
Are we going to see a layered pricing system where you have to pay extra to access the train? Or access a train and then more to get off at the other end?
Yeah.
Right. And the last two options that I've just mentioned there, they could lead to some really disappointed children and adults.
Well, Darren,
not everybody understands things like that. They'll just see a price. They're excited to get in. That's what they'll pay. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the concept they like to keep in the park is, if once you pay admission to get into the place, all the attractions that are there, within reason, of course, are, included in your admission. So I think they'd be more likely to just get rid of the one park ticket altogether.
We talked about it a couple of weeks ago, Darren, didn't it? That you said you potentially thought that they might just open it up as one big park because you'd obviously have the Hogwarts Express would be a place to get across. There's the joining point for when we went to Halloween Horror Nights going between the two parks behind the Cat and the Hat. And didn't you say there was another one near where the Blue Man Group was?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I had heard. Yeah, the connector between the in the very front. So that would make three separate paths for people to get in between the parks.
Yeah, because I think if the Hogwarts Express was the only crossing point, what a bottleneck that would be.
I've just thought of something else. What about those very rare and strange people who like one part but not the other?
Yeah.
That's
You're not going to want to pay for two parts, effectively.
Yeah. So you've got to pay full price, double price maybe, to go to half a park. It's taking people's choices away. Okay, right. Let's stop before we all get on soapboxes and high horses.
I'm interested.
And start rumours that...
I'm intrigued to see what they do with it. It's certainly an interesting time to be a fan of the parks.
Yeah. Oh, it certainly is. I'd like to know what our listeners think about it. Any ideas that you guys have got that Universal are going to do, for access between the parks, ticket options, anything to do with this? You got any ideas on it?
Well, yeah.
Come and start a rumour.
If you go over on the website, there's a post up there about the Hogwarts Express already, and we've had a couple of comments on there, so feel free to go and fish that post out, I'll put it in the show notes. But going back on to what Craig, when he asked the team member, he said, how's the expansion going? Expecting to basically get fobbed off. And he said, it's going really well, but they're having a nightmare parking as they've just dug up the car park and the lane tracks for the new train ride. I'm sure his superiors would be happy with him giving that sort of information out in the parks, but there you go.
Yeah.
We'll have to find him and buy him a butterbeer.
Yeah.
He's probably a listener to the show. I'll give him something to talk about.
It probably wasn't a team member, it was probably just a member of the public.
Yeah. There's Craig going up. Excuse me, do you know anything? Oh, yeah, it's going really well. But how would he know? Anyway.
Darren, were you in disguise in the parks that day?
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
So yeah, that's my first bit of news.
Very cool.
All right. I've got another one here. And, we've spoken on the podcast, and also you've written up on the website about the demolition of Soundstage 44 and all the rumors that are surrounding it. But something else had to be removed before the building could be demolished, and that was the train and the DeLorean from the Back to the Future movies, two of my favorite things in the park. Yep. They used to be situated alongside Soundstage 44 at the end where the Blues Brothers performed, and they were removed to allow the building to be demolished there. It has now been 2 months since the building was removed, and finally the two movies' artifacts have a new permanent home inside the studios, and they can be found across the lagoon from Disaster, a motion picture starring you, and near the Animal Actors on Location and International Food and Film Festival. And we had pictures up of that, didn't we?
We did, yes. I sent Eric to the parks specifically. Yeah. Well, I didn't say he was going anyway, but I specifically sent him to get those pictures. And I mean, I assume we've all seen them.
Yes.
Yep.
Brilliant place for them. I think it's a really good job.
Oh, yeah. Anything to showcase them a bit more. Now, from what I saw in the pictures, it looks like the chain keeps you a little farther away from the DeLorean than you used to be able to get to it.
I think. Couldn't you sit on it before? I'm sure.
No, you sat on it was a metal barrier, like rails around it.
Yeah, they did have a chain going around it, but it was still close enough where you could put your hand on it. They didn't want you to, but
yeah.
Because actually one of our other listeners, Thomas, just was there recently, and he had a picture from the old location, and he was right next to it, doing the whole checking his watch maneuver.
Cool.
The world's biggest Jaws fan, Thomas.
Oh, yeah.
I was amazed when he put that picture up with the stuff that he's got. But anyway, that's a different point.
Yeah.
It is quite far. I'm just looking at the pictures there. It is quite far away, you're right.
Yeah. But they are set up really cool. I like the placement of it. You can get some really cool shots of the two vehicles.
Yeah. Is that the that little bit of park across from Horror Makeup Show?
It's near there. I think it's a little bit further down, but it's
I like
it's good to see that they've kept them back in the parks. You know, especially like this year with it being. I think I put it on when I put the post up on the website that this, when they're celebrating the 100 years of the film thing, they couldn't really not put it back in. It's like they did with Bruce the Shark from Jaws. That at least the attraction might be gone, but they've still kept an element of it in the parks.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
It's going to still be in people's hearts and minds. So
Darren's especially.
Yeah. So acknowledge it.
It's cool.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad they do keep a little bit of that here and there, and even King Kong, you've got the references to it in the Mummy queue as you go through. So
it's all part of
they always try to keep a little bit of what was there.
Yeah,
it's good. I like it because Disney do it a lot.
Yeah, and Disney has a lot more space to work with than Universal. If you look at like a satellite picture of both of them, Universal's dealing with a very small space, so it's understandable that they have to get rid of the older stuff.
I think a lot of it comes from the fact that most of the team members that work at Universal actually used to be ex-Disney Imagineers, or are not. They're not used to be ex-Disney Imagineers, they are. Ex-Disney Imagineers.
Used to be and still be.
Yeah.
Lunatic.
Best good. I'm quite pleased to see them back in the park.
Yeah.
And hopefully Doc Brown will still be wandering around as well because he was cool.
Like Doc Brown. Yeah.
Definitely.
Right, I found a bit of news on Screamscape.com.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, as we all know, fan focus is firmly aimed on the studios with the Wizarding World expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. Rumoured, but slightly confirmed, as you've said.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But what's going to happen with Anne's Adventure once this project's completed? Is a question that Screamscape.com have asked, which I think is a valid question. Because aside from Wizarding World, Islands has remained unchanged since '99 when it opened. Really?
I think there's sort of trolley train rides about the only new thing in there.
Yeah. And in all that time, in 1999, that's
13 years this year.
13 years, yeah. So, in 13 years, there have been quite a few rumours floating about. None that came to fruition.
There's another one floating around at the moment, but go on.
Okay. However, one rumour has resurfaced, and that is that around the time the Wizarding World Phase 2 is rolled out, there'll be a new big attraction making its debut in Islands of Adventure.
Okay.
And this time-wise is going to be around 2016. So, I suppose I should let you in the rumour, eh?
Yeah. We're all dying to know.
It's quite possible that the long speculated about Grinch Mount Crumpet coaster could be appearing in Zeus Landing.
Cool.
Yep. So, according to Screamscape, though, it may well be a Poseidon's Fury replacement with the possibility of reusing the current structure but doing some cosmetic alterations.
Very cool.
So, I, for one, as a big Grinch fan, would be very happy with that.
That would be pretty cool.
Be sad to see Poseidon's Fury go, but it doesn't have a very good fan base, does it, that one? Unfortunately.
It's a big show building as well, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, it's been rumoured for going for a while. I mean, you think how far back the rumours were going that it was going to be converted into like a Chamber of Secrets type attraction.
I'm just thinking the Mount Crumpet coaster, is it going to end up... Could it possibly end up being something along the lines of... Now I'm going down the Disney route here. Expedition Everest. You go up in the rate... Because you've got to get to the end of Mount Crumpet and then have to come back.
Or go over the edge like it does in the film.
And then it can pull you back.
But it doesn't, it goes down.
Well, this is true, yes, it could.
Or does it go the other way? I can't remember.
No, it goes the other way. Anyway,
yeah.
I think that could be.
Well, it's funny, actually, going back off that, I heard a rumour, and I've tried to get some sort of confirmation, but there isn't. But I know it's been gone back and forwards quite a while about Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
And I was listening to... I think it was something with Jim Hill the other day, and he said he'd heard that the rumour is it's going back and forwards between Universal and Disney at the moment, but if Universal get it, they're talking about getting rid of everything from whatever the Matt Hoffman stage thing is in Islands of Adventure, like the back end of Marvel, as far up as Popeye, and replacing that with some sort of Lord of the Rings land. But again, it's nothing... I was told by somebody in the know a little bit that actually if Universal wanted Lord of the Rings, they could have had it 2 years ago. It was theirs to have. They just turned it down. But there you go.
You know what that would end up being, right? The whole entire land would end up being a line. You'll get a ring at the beginning, and you'll just stand in line the whole time for about 4 hours as you snake your way through, and at the end you'll throw your ring into a little bit of lava, and that'll be it. Just like the movies.
I fear we're going into Barney's backyard territory with that comment.
I don't know really. I mean, how much could they do with that wouldn't really be very close to Harry Potter?
Well, this is very true, yeah.
Is it Hobbiton?
Yeah, or...
Shire.
It depends, you could go... I don't know. It would feel...
Yeah. I'm sure there's somebody listening just cursing me right now for saying that, but I mean, just as far as ride structure goes and everything.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right, and speaking of Screamscape, I actually was on there as well, and I saw something else. Looks like we might have our first act for Mardi Gras 2013 signed already. Cool. Polestar music website was said to be showing the Steve Miller Band performing at Universal on February 16th, but it looks like the date has since been removed. Don't know if that was because it was an error or because they just weren't supposed to put it up yet. But yeah, definitely a possibility. Are you guys familiar with Steve Miller Band?
The name rings a bell, but I'm
Joker.
not... All right, yes. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I quite like the Steve Miller Band.
Yeah, because I know we've had a couple like bands I know as legendary, and you're like, who?
Yeah.
But yeah, they're another one that's legendary in the States, so it'd be a really good get for Universal.
Oh, they'd be a really good crowd pleaser, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been to Mardi Gras, Darren?
I still have not been.
I'd love to do it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really, really good, actually.
Yeah, it is. Hint, hint.
When is it? I don't even know when it is.
February.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think it. Yeah, isn't it? Yeah.
I think so.
I have no idea.
Right. It was.
Yeah, very cool. Anyway, right, I have a bit that I got. I was talking to Eric the other day, and he was discussing his dismay of the Halloween Horror Nights website over the last couple of years, that it's not been as good as it used to be. It was actually lame, to use his words.
Right.
He basically asked me if I understood how the website normally works, and Darren, you probably know more than us two about how it's normally this big elaborate story.
Yeah, big elaborate story. The past couple of years, they've had like kind of a alternate reality game to go along with it.
Not being as good as it used to be.
Right.
Would you say? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say. Last year's was definitely a letdown. The year before that was pretty good. That's when they had the really big alternate reality game. But yeah, last year's was definitely down, and I've heard a lot of people talking about it this year as well.
Yeah. Well, Eric told me he was out with some of his friends being the e-commerce team from Universal Orlando.
Okay.
And he was having lunch with them, and he mentioned to them how he thought that the site's been pretty crappy over the last couple of years with no stories and no puzzles or anything. And it turned out that the two of the people he was with turned round to the third person and pointed a finger at her and went, "It's her fault." And he was like, "Okay, so right, what did you do?" And apparently, what it was is, let me find what they said. She said the problem with the story site was it was the worst thing for ticket sales. So people would go to the website, and if they weren't like a mega Halloween Horror Nights fan, they had no idea what the website was about or what to do with it.
Right.
So their online conversion rate, which is the percentage of sales to the percentage, the percentage of sales to visitors, the year they went to a more traditional website, skyrocketed. So they changed it back to a normal website, and the sales just went through the roof off the website because people obviously went in, normal website, oh, that's where I go for tickets. Whereas how it was before, people didn't really know where the hell to go to get, because I remember like bits getting revealed like every now and again, wasn't it? Rather than you went on and the website was the same all the time. You'd go on a week and something else had opened up, and something else had opened up, and something else had opened up. And like you say, if you're not a huge Halloween Horror Nights fan, you're going to go, what the hell am I supposed to do with this?
Why don't you just have a huge thing right at the very first page you come to that says, buy your tickets here.
Yeah.
And then carry on, then the superfans can carry on and go and do that.
But like you said, sorry Darren, go on.
Oh yeah, I was just saying that would be the best of both worlds there, just have your big main buy tickets page and then have your sub page that has all that kind of stuff on there.
Yeah, he was saying that he kept reading online and stuff that people were complaining, saying it was Halloween Horror Nights putting this big conspiracy about budget cutting for Halloween Horror Nights. And he said, obviously because of this, it isn't. It's just a pure numbers game.
Yeah.
They just want every person to hit the site to buy a ticket, basically.
Yeah, and we did hear, about, a while ago about, possible bringing it closer to the way Hollywood works. And I know that a lot of people didn't like that because Hollywood doesn't have a main icon that they focus on every year, and they don't have as many original houses. They're mainly based on Hollywood IPs and properties. I personally like those more because I feel like I'm in some of my favorite movies going through them. But a lot of people are really into the story that Universal is able to weave up. So
yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely see the reasoning on both sides, and if they could find a medium for those fans that do like to get really into it, and I mean, there's been some years where it's 2 straight months of a game you're playing to unlock all the secrets from the website, and that is fun. That's pretty neat to get the whole community together.
It is, and especially when it's a year that you can't make it yourself, it still makes you feel like you're part of it.
That's a good point, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
But I thought it was, Eric told me that, and I thought it's cool. I'll bring that up. I thought it was really good.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's well worth bringing up.
Greetings, recruits. Welcome to my home, I am Crew, Master Villain, Scourge of Humanity. You want to be a man. Your training will begin soon, but be warned, danger lurks.
This is Kyle here to provide my review for Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem. To start off, you'll notice right away just how much time and effort went into transforming the former Jimmy Neutron's Nicktoon Blast into Despicable Me right from the entrance to the attraction. As you may know, you enter through the front of Gru's house from the movie, which is really well themed considering it's outdoors and will be constantly exposed to the elements. Once you enter Gru's house, you're taken into the regular outdoor queue, which is virtually untouched from its Jimmy Neutron and Hanna-Barbera days, unfortunately. There is a fresh new coat of paint to spice things up a little bit, and the walls are riddled with plenty of laughable Minion-themed propaganda signs too, asking you to become a Minion. All in all, considering what Universal had to work with, the outdoor waiting portion is probably a lot better than it was before. I know a lot of people were hoping for an indoor queue, and a lot of people were upset that didn't actually happen. But once you enter the pre-show room, this is all but forgotten. See, the first pre-show room is located further down the building than it was in the Neutron days. The room is located in portions of what was formerly the Nick Stuff gift shop. When you enter this first pre-show room, you'll be absolutely blown away with what you see, and I mean blown away. This is Potter theming right here, folks. When people at Universal were theming this, they knew what they were doing. The room is themed to the living room of Gru's house. And this right here, folks, is theming done absolutely amazing. You will feel almost immediately as if you have stepped foot right into the movie itself. That's when you know that a ride at Universal is doing it right. On top of that, the walls are covered in all kinds of goodies for you to enjoy. From Gru's shrink ray that you'll notice immediately from the beginning of Despicable Me the movie, to his large rhino reclining chair that he uses to transport to his lab. There are plenty of amazing props to help immerse you into the experience. In this room, you watch the first of 2 pre-show videos. This is also the room where you obtain your Minion glasses, which are yellow color versions of the new Spider-Man 3D glasses, if you've seen them before. They're very much like small sunglasses, sort of. They're definitely a lot different looking than the ones that you find in Shrek 4D or the old Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man. Those ones were more thin and cheap looking. These ones seem like they probably cost Universal a lot to make, which is probably the reason that they're so strict about letting people get off with them. And once you obtain your glasses, you're treated to a brief message from Gru and the girls about the point of the glasses. You are then instructed by Gru that you will shortly begin your training to become a Minion. After a few side gags involving the Minions and Dr. Nefarious, which are all very hilarious, might I add, you are ushered into the second pre-show room. This room is themed to look like a part of Gru's lab. The walls are a dark blue, and there are huge G logos on the side of them, which, if you didn't know, G stands for Gru. In front of you, there are 3 huge video screens, along with 2 small ones off to the sides of that. See, this is when things go from great to absolutely amazing. See, this pre-show video makes the screen appear to be glass, and it's done very well, and it looks very high def. And it makes it seem as if Gru and the girls are literally right on the other side of the glass. This effect is pulled off actually really masterfully, and it really makes you believe that these characters are a mere few feet away from you in the other room. You know, I was actually astonished at how well this effect worked for me, especially considering that I've always been more of a fan of animatronics and always thought that videos and pre-show videos were the cheap way out. Anyway, in this room, you are further prompted about your Minion training by Gru and the girls. There are several funny gags in this room as well, one of which actually involves a fart gun from the movie. although it doesn't smell nearly as bad as you probably think it would. And another involving a spotlight zeroing in on people that Gru mentions haven't showered in like a week. So that's also a funny gag, especially for the people who are underneath the spotlight. Eventually, the girls begin to pester Gru about letting them performing our minion training for us. Gru eventually gives in after a little bit of hesitation, and we are then ushered into the main ride room and into our rockets to begin the ride. Now keep in mind, guys, this type of ride mechanic isn't going to really amaze anyone. At the end of the day, it's just a ride simulator attraction, something almost every park in the world has. It's exactly the same ride system as Jimmy Neutron's Nicktoon Blast and Hanna-Barbera and multiple other simulators that you've seen, in theme parks like Wild Adventures and Six Flags and stuff like that. It's just your basic simulator, sit down and watch a giant screen in front of you. However, even though this is a very similar ride mechanic, and it's probably not going to amaze anybody, it's done probably as well as it possibly could be. That coupled with the fact that this is one wild adventure, filled with enough minions to make you smile from ear to ear, and plenty of Gru and the girls as well, makes Despicable Me Minion Mayhem a must-do for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. You'll definitely notice the quality that has gone in this attraction as opposed to the former Jimmy Neutron, Nicktoon Blast, and even Hanna-Barbera, neither of which were in 3D. Both of those rides were okay. I mean, even Hanna-Barbera is considered a classic, but many disagree with that. It was a good ride in its own right, and honestly, Jimmy Neutron wasn't that bad of a ride either. People like to hate on it simply because Jimmy Neutron wasn't a very popular character unless you were a young child. But I actually enjoyed that attraction as well, and I did enjoy Hanna-Barbera. I'm not the biggest simulator fan, and I know a lot of you aren't either. So, I mean, Despicable Me is actually able to do the simulator pretty well, at least as well as I've ever seen it. It's actually pulled off better than I think The Simpsons ride or Back to the Future pulled it off as well. It's an extremely fun experience that will keep you on the edge of your seat. You really feel throughout the entire ride that you've been shrunken down into adorable little minions and are being flown around the minion training room in Gru's lab. Really my only real complaints are that it seemed really short in comparison to Jimmy Neutron, which seemed a little longer, although I did read somewhere that it's only shorter by about 10 seconds, or maybe even less than that. But for some reason, I guess because the video and the action is so fast-paced and so in-your-face, that by the time it's done, it's almost hard to take it all in. It is a very fast attraction. It doesn't last any more than 4 or 5 minutes, but honestly, they pack a lot into that 4 or 5 minutes, and it really does feel like you've been on a wild adventure through the Minion training room. Another problem that I did have with the ride is that it didn't have Nefarious or Vector, both of which are in the movie. The only reason I could assume this didn't happen was because they couldn't find the voice actors to voice either of these characters. I'm not actually sure who voiced either of them. Well, I know Nefarious was voiced by Russell Brand, and I'm sure he probably would have been hard to come by. He's normally filming lots of movies, and it's understandable. I mean, it was a little disappointing that neither of these characters could have been in the attraction, seeing as how they both played very vital roles in the movie itself. But honestly, the ride is done so well with just the girls and Gru and the Minions that honestly you don't even mention that they're gone. And I guess for the most part they're not really needed, especially Vector, seeing as how you're not actually in any real grave danger in the attraction. I would assume, though, that the original plan had something to do with Vector causing mayhem, and they just couldn't get the actor to voice Vector, and ended up changing the idea of the attraction. But it's also possible that this whole becoming a Minion thing was planned from the get-go. But anyway, other than those two problems that I had, this is a solid B+ attraction. I'd probably have to give it an 8 out of 10, which, like I said, a solid B. Definitely a good attraction. But it's not amazing. It's no Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. You're not going to get on this attraction, especially if you don't like the movie itself, and think that this is the ride to be on. But it's not necessarily bad. It's a very good ride. Once the ride is finished and you are accidentally transformed back into humans, which you'll find out once you ride the ride, you exit the ride through a small minion dance party. The room has 3 big screens up on the wall with DJ minions and dancing minions all over them, and a rocking soundtrack as well, featuring Boogie Fever, which you hear a lot in the movie. There are also several costume minions dancing in the area. If I weren't so shy, heck, I probably would have danced around with them myself. All in all, people bash this little dance party. I actually think it's a fantastic way for kids to interact with the minions. You're actually face to face with these minions, and you can literally touch them if you wanted to. And being able to dance with them has got to be great for the kids. Not very many opportunities for kids to be able to do that with their favorite characters from their favorite movies. So I actually really have no problem with this minion dance party. The things that people do say about this, though, at least as far as negativity goes, is that people are concerned that the whole minions dancing inside this room will quickly vanish, and then it will become a photo op area before you know it, where the minions are only in there ever so often, which is possible considering that they have these minions dancing for hours on end, and that's got to be tiring for the people in those costumes. But I personally don't think they'll do that. They revved up the whole minion dance party idea from the very get-go of announcing this ride, and you would have to think that they'll keep the whole dance party thing going strong, at least for a while, that is. After the Minion Dance Party, you then enter the gift shop, which I actually found kind of disappointing also, at least theme-wise. But I was very satisfied as far as the merchandise is involved. They have so much new and interesting Despicable Me merchandise that you really, truly cannot find anywhere else. This is pretty much the only place I've ever seen that has any sort of Gru-themed shirt. Now you can go to Walmart and find the Minion face shirts, and I've even seen them in Target and Kmart and stuff like that, but I have never, anywhere that I've gone, seen a Gru-themed shirt, and I actually found that to be very interesting. I actually went and bought one myself. It has Gru standing in front of the moon, and it's a blue tie-dye shirt that says Despicable Me. It's a really cool shirt, and I really like it. And there's about, I want to say there's a good 15 to 20 Despicable Me shirt designs, and they're all very nice looking. There's plenty of girl ones that have Agnes and the girls on them. There's a plethora of Minion face ones, which I wasn't too big on, seeing as how, like I said, you can find those pretty much anywhere. And they even had a really cool shirt that was covered in Minions from front to back. It was the most expensive shirt that I saw that they had, but it was also very interesting. I like that shirt as well. They have plenty of, Despicable Me Minion plushes. They even have the girls, the unicorn, it's so fluffy! And they have Gru as well, and that was pretty cool. It's nice that they have all the characters in plush form. They have your basic stuff, keychains and stuff like that. They even had the cookies that the girls try to sell in the movie, which I saw. I actually thought that was really cool. Kind of reminded me of what they've been doing with Harry Potter and the snack theme merchandise that they have for that. It's really, really nice to see stuff like that, stuff that's very well tied in with the film that you really can't find anywhere else. It's really got to be a nice boost for merchandise sales, I would have to say. I never actually tried any of them, but they look pretty good. They had the coconutties and the lemon heads and stuff like that. Anyway, all I'm saying is, if you're a fan of the films, good luck getting through this shop without opening your wallet. Lord knows I couldn't do it. I even went as far as buying one of the nice little Minion golf balls that they have, and I've been playing putt-putt with it, so you're bound to find something that you like in this store. Guaranteed. Especially if you're a fan of the movie, or your kids are. Anyway, I hope that everyone enjoyed this review. Overall, I actually find this to be a fantastic addition to the park and a very, very solid attraction. And another job well done by Universal Studios. They've been really hitting it out of the park lately with their attractions and how well themed they are and how much effort they seem to be putting into them. Even dating back to Disaster and Harry Potter, was extremely well done and extensively themed. And Despicable Me is just another building block in what Universal seems to be doing really well lately in theming their attractions. It's nice to see that some of that nice theming that they've always been able to accomplish with Halloween Horror Nights being utilized to the extent that they're really theming their rides really well. You'll be amazed at how well themed this ride is, and that's half the reason why it's such a great attraction. If this theming weren't there, it would just be another, regular, ordinary simulator. It's very impressive, and I think that everybody's really going to enjoy it. The ride is open now, actually. When I went, it was open for just the sneak preview and technical rehearsal, but as of a few weeks ago, the attraction is officially opened. It's located right across the street from Shrek 4D in the production central area of the park. You really can't miss it. Once you enter the park, you'll see it immediately. And make sure not to miss it on your next trip to Universal, guys. This is really a good attraction, especially for fans of the movie. Hope everyone enjoyed my review, and don't forget to live the adventure. Thank you, guys.
Let's do this! Okay, everybody, see you in the lab. This is gonna be good.
In a world where the skies are clouded with ADRs, park ticket, and hotel bookings, one hero stands like a beacon of light in the darkness. Heather at Be Our Guest Destinations. She can book all of your Universal Orlando vacation needs, and her service is free to you. And if you're staying on Disney property for some reason, she can also book Universal tickets that include transportation. How awesome is that? She's also an authorized Disney vacation planner, as well as being able to book all cruise lines. So if you're planning on battling Megatron alongside Optimus Prime at the new Transformers ride, or having a Duff Brew in the new Springfield area, or planning even further ahead to visit Harry Potter in Diagon Alley next year, contact Heather at 1-800-796-6240 or via email at heather@destinationsinflorida.com today. And don't forget to tell her that you're repping the UUOP. We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
Now I'd like to welcome back onto the show to talk about his latest novel, Our Kingdom of Dust, the amazing Leonard Kinsey. Hi, Leonard.
Hello.
Good to have you back.
Yeah, glad to be back. It's great.
Yeah. Now I know everybody out there's thinking, Leonard's Disney. Well, yep, you've got me there. But you know that we really do love Disney on here, but shh, don't tell anybody. And once I'd read Our Kingdom of Dust, I knew that I wanted to have Leonard on again, because this book's brilliant. So we'll just plod on, if that's okay, Leonard.
That's great. That's
brilliant.
Great.
Can we start off? Would you be able to give us a brief description of the novel, please?
Sure. It's basically about a guy named Blaine McKinnon who's he's rich and he's smart and seemingly has everything in the world, at least from an outsider's perspective. But it turns out he actually really doesn't have a whole lot of anything. He sells his business and loses pretty much all the friends and family he had, and really is kind of hit rock bottom, has a breakdown, and decides to go live in the only place where he was ever truly happy, which was Walt Disney World. So he moves down there and meets all these very strange people who are also kind of doing the same thing, which is basically avoiding reality by being at Disney. And they're all hooked on this drug called the dust.
Yeah. I think we stop there, don't we? Because, it's you've got to read it, people. It is. It's as I'm reading. I've been saying to Leonard that I'm actually reading it for the second time.
Wow.
It's just brilliant. So now, before I do get into the questions properly, I just wanted to mention the prologue.
Mm-hmm.
For me, being an amateur writer myself, the first few pages of a book are very important to hook you in, aren't they? And
Yeah.
and I've got to say, this opening, I absolutely adored it, because immediately you've got that sense of place. You know,
Right.
it was a really strong sense of place as well. And I've not been to the boardwalk yet. It's planned for next year. But just from your description, I was there.
Right.
And your passion for the place just shines through in those first few paragraphs. So
Sure.
I just wanted to say it's actually one of the best prologues I have ever read. So
Well, thank you. Yeah, on the one hand, as everyone probably knows from reading Dark Side of Disney, I would say that the parks and the resorts are kind of like a second home for me. It's like you can describe your childhood home that's the same way that I can describe the parks, and so they are very real in my mind all the time, and I try to get that onto the paper as naturally as possible. So that's one thing, and then also the prologue, for better or for worse, when people open up the book and start reading, you kind of do have to hook them. And especially on Amazon, you've got your look inside thing where they show the first however much of the book, and you really do want to get people interested enough from those first few pages to buy the book, essentially. And then coming from like the Pulp Fiction school where everything doesn't necessarily have to be linear time-wise, I thought it was an interesting way to start that off.
as I said, yeah, completely hooked. And I just think he did an absolutely amazing job. And I did actually turn to Lee and say, right, I'm giving up. I'm not writing anymore. So good job, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Right, so the first question I've got for you, you've probably been asked, but I'm going to ask myself. Are any of your characters based on real people?
I would say superficially, some of them are similar to people that I've heard about, but never actually seen or met. And these would be, certain kind of Disney fans that I'm talking about.
Would this be who's influenced the Jay character at all?
Who influenced the which character?
Jay.
There is he was actually, it's funny, like I said, superficially, there is a guy who has a lot of Disney tattoos and collected a lot of Disney memorabilia.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I don't know whether we're allowed to name him or not, so I won't.
Yeah, well, so that's the thing. I deliberately did not learn much about him or really, do much research on him because I didn't necessarily want to know because I wanted to invent my own character. Yeah. And then Jay's backstory is actually someone that it was kind of influenced by someone that I personally knew. Right. So yeah, like I said, I mean, all authors pull, I think, from their real life experiences and kind of take something that, maybe they saw or heard and, write a story around that. Yeah. Basically let your imagination run wild and see where that one little bit of information takes you. And that's kind of the fun part about being a writer is you can do that. If you see something interesting, well, you can make your own backstory for it. You can make your own, you can make a whole person's life completely up in your head. And it's really cool. But yeah, so to answer your question, none of the characters are directly based on anyone, but they did give me those little sparks that got my imagination going.
Good. So, Blaine, how much of yourself is in Blaine?
I think the voice of Blaine is very similar to mine. As far as his backstory, again, his backstory is absolutely nothing like mine.
I would hope not.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are a lot of things in there that I think that I've seen and heard throughout times, and unfortunately, some of the really terrible things that happen to Blaine in the book are based on things that happen to me. Nice. But as far as his backstory, and I think the way that he is kind of introvert and all that kind of stuff doesn't really apply to me personally.
Really?
So, But I do think he's an interesting character, and like I said, his voice is similar to mine, and his hatred for what Epcot has become is obviously straight from me.
Yes, I kind of picked up on that one.
Yeah,
I'll come back to that later.
All right.
Oh yes, I have to pull you up on something.
Okay.
I found it a little disconcerting to share a name and spelling with the object of Blaine's special time lady, shall we say. So in your next book,
yes.
Can you use my name for, say, a little sweet old lady?
Sure, I'll do that. I'll make sure to do that.
No, don't do that. Make me the deviant.
Well, the Tracey character is very attractive, and Blaine obviously has affection for her in a very particular way.
Yeah, I didn't think of it that way. I just go, oh, he's doing it again.
Yep.
I've got to say though, the name Tracey does have, well, it's over here in the UK, it has a kind of reputation. That name, shall we say? It's a loose lady's name.
Interesting. So, I did not know that.
I was very grateful to my parents for that.
Yeah. Now that character, and obviously it's an extremely minor character, is definitely based on someone who you see on the TV in the resorts. Pretty much. Well, it's 24/7 actually.
Yes.
So, but I'll leave the readers to figure that one out themselves.
Yes. So how much research did you have to do for our Kingdom of Dust, and how did you do it?
Like Dark Side of Disney, it was really a lifetime of research. As far as just going to the parks and like I said, really having those ingrained in my mind. Specific things that did require research were, for example, so Blaine actually lives at the beach club, and he lives in a 1-bedroom suite, and only one bedroom suite over there in the Epcot resorts, and there really aren't any pictures of it anywhere.
Right.
So I, in true Leonard Kinsey fashion, went and finagled my way into a tour of that floor, and basically told them that I was thinking about booking a honeymoon trip the following year, and I'd really like to get a tour of that. So little things like that. And I did take a fair amount of video and pictures for research, just so I could always refer back to them if I had any particular questions. Things like certain cast members' uniforms. I researched those, found pictures. The interesting thing about the book is that it's not set in exact present time. It's actually set in 2007.
Right.
So it was kind of like historical research, because stuff changes so much in the parks. And I wanted to make sure that it was accurate to that date and time. But the other good thing about that is it'll never be dated, because I didn't set it. If you set it in present time, people always assume it is now, like now being whenever they're reading the book. And I didn't necessarily want that. So I wanted it to be stuck in a very specific place and time.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. So have you actually stayed at the Beach Club Resort then?
Oh, yeah. We stay there. We rent Disney Vacation Club points, and we stay there, and we stay at the boardwalk, and those are the two places that we stay all the time, because I like being right next to Epcot and walking to Epcot.
Yeah. So when you started writing, did you create an outline for the novel, or did you just write it?
I had the beginning and the end, obviously.
Yeah.
Because, well, it's not exactly the end, but it's sort of the climax of the book I had. And I had the characters and a very vague idea of what was going to happen. And I don't know how other people write, but I personally think it's fun to create really interesting characters and create some conflict and just let them run wild and see how they deal with it.
Yeah.
And they become very real. They become very real to me anyway. Yeah. And seeing how they react to certain situations is, for me, part of the fun in writing. So, and hopefully that comes across to the reader too, that they do seem real and they do. Yeah, good.
Yeah, I think that's why people have been asking, are they based on real people? Because they are so fleshed out.
Right. Yeah. So, but they're all from my crazy little brain.
Excellent. So did the characters really write the book for you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And they all had their ways of speaking and acting, and like I said, I knew where I wanted it to end up. Yeah. It was just how it was going to get there that was up in the air.
So you just went along for the ride then.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And the way I wrote it, it's kind of funny. I'd written actually that first chapter, the prologue, in a very different form years ago, as in like 6-7 years ago. Mm-hmm. And so I already had kind of those characters floating in my head all that time. And I sat down and tried to write the book, and I think I got into maybe 1 or 2 chapters, and it just wasn't happening, because I'd have 2 or 3 hours at a time, and I just couldn't. With Dark Side of Disney, that's fine because they're short chapters and they're about very specific subjects.
Yeah.
But in order to write the way that I was just talking about, where these characters are running free, I needed to get into that. I needed to hear their voices again and let them do what they wanted to do. And it just wasn't happening in 2-hour blocks. So I took a week, actually 10 days off of my day job, and just got up at the same time at 8 in the morning and started writing, and would write till 8 at night, and knocked out the whole novel in about 10 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we know that Epcot's your favourite park.
Yep.
I'm assuming that Horizons was your favourite ride.
It was. It was.
I'm so sorry I've missed that.
Yeah, it's a bummer. And
video, it looks great. Or looked great.
Yeah, and World of Motion was probably my second favorite ride, and I tore that one out too. It's cool that there is a lot of video of those, and there's Hoot and Chief from Mesa Verde Times, who have a lot of kind of backstage stuff at Horizons and very close-up looks, because they jumped out of the ride vehicles and got right up and took pictures. And there's a guy from his site, I think is horizonsresurrected.com, who's doing a 3D model of it and building kind of a wraparound projector screen that'll actually look like, so you can ride through it and it'll look like you were actually in the ride.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, apparently he's bringing it to Orlando for Epcot's 30th, and he's going to set up a room in Bay Lake Tower and invite people to come experience that, which will be really cool.
So did you find that writing out Kingdom of Dust was a way of exercising some demons? Like getting out your frustrations at the changes that the parks have implemented?
Yeah, I'd kind of come to peace with that myself, which is part of the book, how that character, Blaine, kind of comes to peace with the fact that, basically everything changes and everything is destroyed eventually. And that's just part of life. And it's kind of how you deal with that defines who you are as a person. And so, these were realizations I'd already come to personally. So, as far as exercising demons, there were various things that were still sensitive and raw to me, and I think that comes through in the book. But no, I mean, luckily, I did not have the experience that Blaine has of not being in the parks for however many years, 10 years.
That must be heartbreaking for people who that really has happened to.
Right. So he hasn't been there in 10 years, and he shows up, and pretty much everything that he liked about the parks, about Epcot, has been destroyed, which is obviously a shock. I saw it happen slowly, and when things are going one by one, it's you notice it, but it doesn't hit you that hard, you're just kind of like, oh man, that's bad. And then, a year later, oh, that sucks. But yeah, I thought it would be more interesting dramatically if he just kind of saw all that just all at once.
Yeah. It certainly had an impact.
Yeah.
And I just have to say, your comment on soaring.
Mm-hmm.
So with you on that. There's a G on the end of that word.
Yeah, I don't really get why they did that.
And like you said, who wants to stand in a totally boring line that looks like you're in an airport when you've probably spent time getting to your vacation?
Right.
In an airport.
Yeah, it gives me anxiety. I mean, I get anxious when I look at the queue because I'm thinking like, I don't want to be back in the airport. I'm on vacation. I don't want it to end. Exactly. Like just subconsciously, it makes me anxious seeing that queue. And I don't know why in the world they did that, but whatever.
And why is it so popular?
I can't figure that out either. Yeah. And to be honest, last time I was on there, I just decided I'm not going on it again. Not because I don't enjoy the experience, but because the wait is so long and they've really let it go to crap. The screen just looked terrible and the print looked terrible. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a big dark line down the side of the screen itself, not on the print. The print had all sorts of problems of its own.
Fuzzy for a start.
Fuzzy, scratchy, dirty, and I was just like, this is not cool. And I really, it was one of those things where you come out of it kind of depressed, and yeah, I'm not going to do it anymore. It's not worth it.
How have you marketed the book? Have you found any avenues that have worked better for this genre?
Fiction's a tough sell. A lot more than nonfiction, just because the readers have to kind of commit to it. You can't just open it up at any page and, read a few paragraphs and laugh a little bit and then put it down. And so just in general, fiction's harder. Luckily, Dark Side of Disney was very successful, and I, kind of made a name for myself, I guess, whether for good or for bad, with that book. And
you're a legend now.
I guess so. So I kind of got lucky in that respect because I already have the name recognition.
Yeah.
And so that's made it much easier to sell the book. And then, for example, what's great about digital publishing these days is that when Our Kingdom of Dust came out, I went in and on the back page of Dark Side of Disney put basically an ad for it in there. So now anyone who buys copies of Dark Side of Disney, digital or paperback, is going to see at the end that ad. So if they finish the book and they like Dark Side of Disney, then they see that, he wrote another book. Maybe I should get this one too.
I've got plenty of books that way.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that you hear a lot is, what is the best way to sell more books? Well, write more books.
Make sure your first one's a good one.
And that helps too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really just been kind of skating by on my good name, I guess, or my bad name, as it might be.
I think it's definitely a good name. Now, was there a part of the novel that was hard to write?
Yeah, I don't really know that it matters to spoil it, but the part where the dog dies.
It was hard to read.
People have said that, and I'm one of those people who, when I watch a movie or read a book or whatever, I always care far more when an animal dies than when a person dies. And I guess a lot of times that's true in real life too. Yeah. And the idea behind that, I think, is that animals are innocent. They didn't do anything to deserve whatever bad things happen to them. And so that's why I think we feel that way when we read a book or watch a movie and something bad happens to an animal. And I knew I had to have something really awful happen in order to make Blaine have this breakdown and just throw it all away and moved to Disney World, basically. Yeah. Otherwise, it wouldn't be realistic, because that's a pretty crazy thing to do. I mean, nobody does that. So I had to think of a pretty crazy thing to happen to him. And
I think that would do it.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of, and it's a gradual buildup. You know, he's had bad things happen to him that he's kind of filed away in the back of his brain. But that just does it. That just makes it happen. And writing that was not pleasant. But again, unfortunately, that was actually a combination of some things that had actually happened to me, and that was kind of my catharsis was writing that. Right. So, yeah.
Off the back of that, do you have a favorite part of the book?
I think my favorite part is the party scene that's written like kind of in movie script format.
Oh yes,
and it's almost like a fly on the wall scene. You're jumping from conversation to conversation, kind of in the middle of the conversations, and you're just hearing what's happening at this party. Yeah. And I thought that was kind of fun to read and fun to write.
Yeah, what a group of people to be eavesdropping on as well.
Right, yeah, definitely.
Everyone's such an individual character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was pretty neat. Yeah.
Was there anything that you wrote in the book that you really loved but it didn't make the final edit?
There wasn't. The original draft of the book was kind of a lot happier toward the end. In other words, everyone kind of had happy endings, and I was like, this
that doesn't happen in real life.
Right. Yeah, and it was more interesting the way I ended up making it go, I think. But no, I don't think there was anything major that actually got cut out of it. If anything, things were added in more in the end.
That's what I like to hear. More to read. Now, spoiler alert, people. What has been your best suggestion for the secret ingredient in the dust?
People have been coming up with some funny things. Someone said, I think it was Gary from WDW Kingdom Cast said it was Walt's Ashes.
Ooh, macabre.
And yeah, and it's funny, like things have come out on the news that are actually just as bad as what could have been fictionally. Like I saw a news report about this whole shipment was intercepted of these little capsules that had dried up dead babies that had been ground into powder, and people take them for stamina or something. And yeah, it was just the way that they made these pills was described in detail. It's really morbid. And I was just like, wow, you see, this is the problem. If I actually say what it is, then something's going to come out, in a month that's going to be far more worse than anything I could have thought of. Yeah. And plus, people have very vivid imaginations, and I wanted people to, kind of use their imaginations to come up with their own idea of what it was. Personally, I always thought of it in a more symbolic sense, in that it represented basically the loss of innocence, the loss of youth, and so when people were taking this, they were getting that back, essentially. And on the other end, it's also very symbolic of what gets people addicted to the theme park experience to begin with, whether it be Universal or Disney. And it's these people using this drug or using the theme park to escape reality, essentially. Yeah.
I'm definitely one of those.
Yeah, and so am
reality sucks.
No, I'm very much that sort of person, and it's one of the reasons why I like Disney. But you can definitely go overboard with it, and there are a lot of people in the Disney fan community who do go way overboard with it. And especially since writing Dark Side of Disney, I've had a lot of very negative reactions from these people who I call pixie dusters, who are just kind of hooked on this idea of Disney that is just not real.
Yeah, a rose-tinted view of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they won't accept any negativity about it at all.
Right. They will not let real life intrude into their fantasy world, essentially.
No, it's a bit worrying, that, really.
Yeah.
Now, the lovely Draven is your cover girl once again. Now, just to tie it in, because we are a Universal podcast, she is a huge Harry Potter fan.
She is.
Absolutely huge. Now, do you think that because of that, and I don't know if she's given you a bit of pressure, do you think you'd ever write a book based on Universal Studios or Islands of Adventure?
I thought about it and actually did a bunch of research for a book like that. Mm-hmm. And I just concluded that it wasn't going to be doable because Universal already provides the experiences that I would write about. They provide them out in the open and for all to see. It's just the drinking and the nightclub aspects, and they basically are giving you places to meet girls and hook up, and they have their own happy hour specials, and it's kind of like all these things that Disney does not have or does not want you to know about. Universal's got them out in the open and they're flaunting them. So, I could write that book, but it would end up essentially being the same as everyone else's book because it's all out there and available for everyone to read about, which is great. Kudos to Universal for that. And shame on Disney for basically, creating a whole market for a book like mine. It's fortunate for me. It's unfortunate for them. So I probably won't, because there is no dark side of Universal. It's just Universal. It's got its own built-in dark side that it advertises. Yeah.
I hadn't quite thought of it that way, but you are right. Now here's one for you.
All right.
I'm sure you must have thought about this.
Okay.
Who would play Blaine, Jay, and Lisa in the movie?
Ooh. Huh. Wow. Let's see. Jay could be. I don't know. That's a good question. You know what? And you know why I haven't thought about this is because I had my own kind of mental image of these characters in my head, and they were not, movie actors. They were just real people, to me. So I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe that's another contest, waiting to happen. Blaine could be someone kind of geeky, maybe like Tobey Maguire or something like that. He's not necessarily like the super handsome movie star type. He's more of the intellectual kind of, you could see him running a computer company sort of thing. But
his own charms.
Yeah, yet charming and good looking enough to snag a girl like Lisa.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question. What did you have any ideas?
I realised as I was asking you, I hadn't actually followed through and thought about it much. But Jay, I did think that we'd have to get a time machine, a younger Meatloaf.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Because I saw Jay as a very big, imposing.
Yeah. Yep.
Figure, and obviously he does have a soft side as well.
Sure.
Which I have seen Meatloaf.
Yeah.
In various films.
Yeah. Maybe. That's a good idea. But like I said, in my mind, they're just people that I have a very clear image of each of them. And it's funny because people always ask me, is Lisa based on Draven?
Yeah.
And she is on the cover, and she is dressed up as Snow White, which Lisa is in the parks. Yeah. And to be honest, that character, like I said, I'd come up with a good 6-7 years ago and had a very clear idea of what she looked like and everything. It just so happened that Draven does have physical similarities to her. So, so that's kind of confusing for people, but but that's fine. If they want to, if anyone wants to see Lisa as Draven, well, that's great.
I have to admit, I think it's because we know both of you, and we know about you. We know that you're friends. It was kind of Draven in my mind when I was reading.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I warned her in advance that that was probably going to happen. She read the book way in advance from when I released it, and just to make sure that she was going to be cool with people thinking that, and wasn't going to be kind of blindsided by people saying that. But again, I think that character is vivid enough where, while at first you might think that it kind of goes a different direction, and you kind of stop thinking that.
Do you have any unpublished books waiting in the wings?
I do not. I have ideas. I have plenty of ideas, and a few of them would require massive amounts of research. A few of them would not, and a few of them are Disney related, and a few of them are not. So it's good to have ideas, and I kind of let them fester over time, and every once in a while I'll think about them and get excited about them, and then, but unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, for better or for worse, right now I'm really focused on publishing other people's Disney books,
right.
And I've got 3 books coming out before the end of the year, and so I'm really focused on that and making sure that these authors get the attention that they deserve, and so that means pretty much no writing for me until, and that's fine because I don't really feel the need to write right now, and it's not one of those things you want to force. You want to be passionate about whatever you're writing, and so once those are done, then I'll probably start writing again and make that my priority, and hopefully what I come up with people will enjoy.
Well, I'll be waiting already for it. So. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about there, Leonard?
I should plug Ron Schneider, Dreamfinder. His autobiography will be coming out at the end of the month. We've got it's like a July 31st release date, and it's called From Dreamer to Dreamfinder, and Bamboo Forest Publishing is putting it out, and it's just amazing. If anyone has ever talked to Ron personally, that he's got incredible stories, and he tells them
stories.
And he tells them, the way he tells them is extremely interesting, and entertaining, and he writes the way he talks, and so it's just captivating.
I can't wait to get a copy.
Yeah, it's really it's great. So I think everyone, whether or not you're a Disney fan, he worked at Universal for as long as he worked at Disney, doing show writing for the characters that walk around, the lookalike characters.
Right.
He worked at Magic Mountain, Six Flags Magic Mountain. So he is just kind of the theme park guy as far as show writing and being entertainment. And his stories are absolutely fascinating, just from a show business perspective. Even if you're not a fan of whatever park, he's just a great storyteller, and it's a fascinating book. So
yes, well, that's it. When we have him on, we just sit back and just enjoy. As much as the listeners are going to, we're doing exactly the same.
It's great. I threw a party last year down in Orlando and invited him, and he showed up.
Photographs,
and it was great because it took my host duties.
It was the entertainment.
I just sat him on a couch and kind of pointed people toward him, and he just kept everyone entertained for the entire party, and it was just great. He's a really cool guy.
Oh, that's fabulous. Right. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure again to have you on, Leonard.
Yeah, it's been great talking with you.
Yeah, really appreciate you coming on. Go ahead, plug your books, whatever you want to plug.
Okay. Well, Our Kingdom of Dust is available on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, really anywhere. It's actually on iTunes now, too. And there's an audiobook version that I read. So you can get that anywhere, too. And Dark Side of Disney, still available everywhere. So you can go to my websites, darksideofdisney.com or bambooforestpublishing.com. That's my publishing company, and where Ron's book is being released from, and read up on all the new news.
Sounds good to me. So get yourself there, people.
Yes, please.
Yes. Leonard, you very kindly agreed to donate a download of Our Kingdom of Dust for a competition.
Yes.
Would you like to ask the question for our lovely listeners?
Sure. So I guess we're going to have a contest, and whoever comes up with the best answer will win a free download of the book. And the question is, what is the secret ingredient in the dust?
Ooh.
Ooh.
I look forward to getting these answers. And of course, Leonard will be the one who's choosing.
Oh, great.
The secret
All
ingredient.
Right. Yeah, I look forward to that too. It's
yes.
That's one of the coolest things about writing this. I get to hear what people think it is, and it's always fascinating to me. So I really look forward to that.
Lovely. Again, thanks for coming on, Leonard.
You're very welcome.
And we hope to speak to you again really soon.
Definitely.
Take care now.
Bamboo Forest Publishing brings you Our Kingdom of Dust, a modern fairy tale from Leonard Kinsey, best-selling author of The Dark Side of Disney. Man-child Blaine McKinnon is brilliant, wealthy, and completely alone. After an emotional breakdown, Blaine starts a new life at the only place he was ever truly happy, Walt Disney World. But he soon finds that just below the surface of his childhood paradise lies a kingdom corrupted by drugs, violence, and deceit. Our Kingdom of Dust by Leonard Kinsey can be found at all online retailers, or a signed copy can be ordered at www.bambooforestpublishing.com.
Hey, Lee, Tracey, Hunter, Darren, and everybody. This is Josh. Can you guess by the music what park I'm at today? I am indeed at Islands of Adventure today. I just got here. Actually, just got my 15-month annual pass. I'm pretty psyched about that. Sitting on the little peninsula that juts out into the lagoon at Port of Entry, so it's kind of secluded here. It's nice. It's a beautiful day. It's a little hot, but take what you can get, right? Got a little cut off by the Hulk there. But yeah, I got this great panoramic view across the whole park. You see everything. It's great. I think it's a little late in the afternoon, but I think I'm finally going to eat lunch. So maybe see if Green Eggs and Ham is open. But I'm having a great day. I hope the podcast is going well. I'll talk to you guys real soon. Bye.
Hey, UUO podcast crew. I am having a great time here at Universal Orlando, and I thought I had to send you a quick live report. So I'm recording this on my iPhone, or iPad, or Android, or other applicable electronic device, and I am going to send it to you at podcast@uuopodcast.com. How easy is that? I hope you guys enjoy hearing it, and I wish you were here.
Right, so that'll do it for episode 38. I hope everyone enjoyed it. A little bit something different, a bit of a mishmash of segments, this one. But as I said, me and Tracey have been away when this comes out. Well, actually, when this comes out,
we'll be away home,
yeah. So, we'd like to thank Leonard for coming on the show again. Tracey really enjoyed it. And Darren, when you go for Halloween Horror Nights, are you riding Despicable Me?
Probably not, because it probably won't be open.
Oh.
Do you think?
Are you going to the park?
No, I'm not going during the day, no.
All right.
But if for any reason they have it open during Halloween Horror Nights, I will definitely go.
That's going to fit a little weird in Halloween Horror Nights, isn't it? You're like scary outside and then go into Despicable Me with the Minions.
They got one-eyed aliens, right?
That could be quite... they need Minions in some of the scare zones. I think that would be quite freaky.
Some vampire Minions and things.
That would be weird.
Yeah, I think going into that will make it feel... Yeah, I think... Oh, man. That would be great. Little zombified ones.
Yeah.
I've just made a balls up as well, because it wasn't... That was Kyle, not Josh. Sorry, Kyle. Kyle's review of Despicable Me, not Josh.
Dun.
Kyle will be going, what? He didn't do that. That was me. Sorry.
Very professional.
And...
So what did Josh do?
Josh sent us a very good live report from sitting just underneath the Hulk in Islands of Adventure for us.
Ah.
I always like live reports.
Yes.
What a serene and peaceful location it is underneath the Hulk.
It's like in a really peaceful place though, and then suddenly you hear the big roar as the Hulk goes past. That's cool. We need more live reports.
One of the coolest sounds ever.
Done actually. When we come to do our Walk the Walk of Marvel, Eric's recorded as a walkthrough audio, and it finishes pretty much with just the Hulk drowning everything out.
Nice.
Wonderful.
So, yep, thanks to you guys for that, but we have an email to finish off with, so Darren.
Yep. Alright, let's see here, we got an email from one of our favorite listeners and a contributor to the show quite a bit. It says here, hey guys, just listened to the episode with the Jurassic Park Walk the Walk. I remember the Triceratops encounter quite well when the park opened. The queue was extremely well themed with faux ranger and doctor stations, lockers, monitors, etc. You could even find the shaving cream can from the film stashed in there. Then you would arrive at one of the 3 Triceratops paddocks where a team member would be playing doctor and giving the trike a checkup. The dinosaur would breathe, blink, snort, move, pee, with its leg and more. The animatronics were incredibly impressive and expensive, but that's all it was. So people would watch the checkup for 5 minutes or so, get bored, and leave. I think people waited and waited thinking it was going to be a ride or something more involved, and when they got to see the Triceratops and that was it, I feel like a lot of them left unhappy. It's a shame, though, since these dinosaurs were amazing, and now they just sit out there rotting. Personally, I think that's prime real estate for a new attraction, so you don't have to get rid of the river adventure. Maybe a wooden coaster or a Jeep ride. Then they could repurpose the animatronics, but that's just me. Also, next time you're there, take the time to explore Camp Jurassic. It's the most impressive theme park playground ever designed and built. There is so much back there that most guests never see, including the amber mines, the dino footprints that roar, the nets, the water battle, and some amazing hidden caves and caverns. It's huge and took me years to look around back there and see how well it's done. You always ask about hidden gems, and Camp Jurassic is mine. Talk soon, Andy DeGenova.
After getting this message of him, actually, we've been in there, but literally to get out of the Pteranodon flares, I think we talked about.
I am still working my way through the trauma. Getting stuck in the... Not stuck, but couldn't shuffle out the bottom of that tube.
I think we're definitely going to have to go in there.
I think we need to.
Have a water fight in the water cannons, I think.
Water?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's the...
Yeah, water.
Go on after we've taken...
I've already said
no, hang on, that's what I'm going to say. After we've taken Darren on Dudley Do Right's Ripsaw Falls, Build Rap Barges, and the Jurassic Park River Adventure.
Twice. Yeah, we did warn you, didn't we, that I did my water rides in one go. And then I get changed. So, no, I've got to say though, Triceratops encounter. It's something that really appeals to me.
Yes, I'm kind of hoping that...
It's a shame people get bored with it.
Yeah, and I realized I forgot to put up that video from Adam the Woo, the recent walkthrough of it, all shut down.
Yeah.
He goes through it while it's abandoned. It's really cool. And I also found another walkthrough video of somebody walking through it while it was still open. Actually, when it first opened. So I'll get those both posted to the website when the show comes up for sure.
Yeah, I posted. I forgot about it when I first put the show notes up, but it was it Aaron Rochon, the video he sent. I remembered in the end and put the clip of the video that he gave us up. Which it does look pretty cool, but you know, potentially what the queue is. If you're queuing for a long time, I can understand why people go, "What? This is it."
Yeah, I'm surprised by that, to be honest, because the animatronics are that amazing. That I mean, when you see Adam's video that I'm going to post, they've got one of the heads off, one of the faces off, and you can see all the actuators and everything that make these things move, and it's just thousands in the face alone. So
really?
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah, very amazing.
I look forward to seeing that.
I hope it is open. I wonder if I need to check and find out if it's open at the moment, because peak time. I'll have to ask Craig where he's over.
You would have thought so. If it is going to be open, it'd be
spring break. I know it was open for spring break.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, just a little bit. Just going back to our Leonard Kinsey competition. If you haven't read Our Kingdom of Dust yet, and you don't want to listen to my interview with Leonard Kinsey because of spoilers...
Don't, because by the time you get to this...
if you haven't listened to it. Some people might flick backwards and forwards, you don't know. You know, they might... Anyway, shut up, you've confused me now. He's not going to make it to next episode, you know. Anyway, yes, I will give you the competition question now, because it's not fair on anybody to miss out because they haven't read the book.
Definitely not.
You know, and you might win a digital download of it.
I haven't read it yet, but I want to.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Right. So anyway, to win a digital to win a digital copy of Our Kingdom of Dust, simply tell us what you think is the secret ingredient in the dust. Now, you don't need to have any knowledge of the story to join in. It's just a bit of fun. So email your answer to us at podcast@UUOpodcast.
UUOpodcast.com. It is, sorry, that's my...
UUOpodcast.com.
That's my balls
/SillyLee.
podcast@UUOpodcast.com. So that's it. Our next one will be out on the 14th of September and will be our first Halloween Horror Nights show. Woo-hoo! But don't worry. As recording this tonight, for anyone who's not, we said we're going to try and keep... Why did I say that twice? For those that aren't... I think even if you're not a massive Halloween Horror Nights fan, you'll enjoy the interview with Mackenzie. Even though I'm talking about something that isn't out yet, but we have just recorded it tonight, I think it was worth listening to. And then the stuff that we've got coming up, I still think you'll enjoy it. But we have got something in the works. Actually, in the works. Darren said I should mention it here. I've just remembered now.
Oh, good.
I'm waffling, Anna.
Just a bit.
It was something that a listener sort of messaged when we were looking for potential show topics a while back. It's something we thought of. What we are looking is to have a 15 to 20 minute segment of the three of us just chewing the fat over a specific subject. That subject is down to you guys. So if you let's keep it universal. We have something in the works at some point that's going to be non-universal discussion topic. But for our 4 Halloween shows, we're going to have a segment in each one, and the three of us just chewing the fat over a specific universal subject. And what we want you guys is to send us your suggestions of a topic that you would like to hear us discuss. It can be anything.
I think we should either go with the majority suggestion or or just randomly chosen, then we're not cherry picking.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Is that okay with you, Darren?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Cool, great.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to see what people suggest for that. I'll put a link on Facebook. I might even put it in the show notes for this one. I might even put a full draft up on the website for it. And I'll also post it on Twitter. So yes, looking forward to that. So that's it. Ta-ta from me.
And good night, Internet, from me.
I just want to say thanks everyone for being part of our experimental format. See you all later.
Well, that just about does it for another unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. We'd love for you to get in touch. So follow us all on Twitter at UUO Podcast, at UUOP Tracey, at UUOP Darren, and at UUOP Eric. Like our Facebook page at facebook.com/unofficial Universal Podcast. Follow us on Instagram by searching UUO Podcast, and subscribe to our YouTube page at youtube.com/UUO Podcast. Don't miss a show by subscribing to us on iTunes, and while you're there, please leave us a review. Not an Apple user? No problem. Just find the show at uuopodcast.libsyn.com and subscribe to the feed while you're there. Send us your spews, funny schmits, live reports, and any other comments at podcast@uuopodcast.com. And come find us on the forums and say hello at our partner site, micechat.com. So thanks for listening, and until next time, remember, live the adventure.
This has been a MicePod.com presentation.
MiceChat.com